When we were kids, our brains were designed to protect us from the harshest realities of what was actually happening in our parents' minds. So if I had a parent who enjoyed hurting me or degrading me in any way, my brain would have protected me from that reality. So I would have come up with some kind of alternate explanation, like my parent didn't know what they were doing, or they didn't enjoy doing it, or they didn't realize that they were hurting me, or that it was somehow my fault that my parent was hurting me. These are all very common explanations that come up in the mind of an abused child, because that's how the child's brain protects the child from the reality of what's going on in the parent's mind. This protection mechanism is really important for childhood because children can't handle the reality of what's happening in an abusive parent's mind. But as an adult, it's really important for me to face the reality of what was actually going on in my parents' minds. And so here's some questions to ask. Did your parent know that they were hurting you? Did your parent want to hurt you? Did your parent enjoy hurting you? For most of us, those questions are going to be difficult to answer because the brain doesn't want to go to these places that are forbidden. Our brains are designed to protect us from these realities when we were children, and the brain doesn't change on its own. We have to nudge the brain into facing the harsh reality of what actually happened when we were children. One way to do this is to ask yourself, if I did that same thing to my child, would I know that I was hurting the child? And if the way your brain has protected you is by saying, oh, my mom or dad didn't know what they were doing, you can use that idea to say, well, if I did that, would I know? Am I really that different from my mom or dad? Is my mom or dad really the kind of person who just doesn't know what impact they're having on a person? Or are they the kind of person who's willing to have that impact on a child if they can get away with it? This kind of introspection is critical in the process of breaking the chain of abuse, because I have to face what was true about my parents if I want to face what's true about me. If I don't face the darkness of my parents, then I will not be able to face the darkness in myself, because when I was young, I picked up these same habits and these same behavioral patterns from them, and I have to face it in my parents before I can face it in myself.